So I just was watching the Trump speech his after he won the election, and also the one that Harris lost. I saw this election, and there's a few things I definitely want to say, but one of the things, okay, that just came to me now, is that I was seeing the election, and he was talking, or a speech, he was talking about how he went to all these rallies, and how this, and how he went to all of these rallies, and how many people said God spared his life, and Trump just said that God spared his life so he can save America. He is calling himself the American Messiah by those words. Trump is not the American Messiah. Trump is the American Antichrist. Literally, you know what I was thinking? I was thinking when he became president, dark times have hit America. I was talking to a person the other day, and they were telling me if Trump gets in, the people who voted for him will be sorry. They will be sorry. I was talking to another person, actually, earlier today, and they was saying, yeah, I guarantee Elon or RFK, they're not going to last that long. They're probably going to last a year within the White House, or, I'm not so sure about that, but, that's a interesting little prediction, and also, this really, so one of the things I know for me, I guess, on how I'm going to be putting it kind of for me, because, I said this in my, videos, that if Trump wins, I'm just going to go to the future, okay? And, one of the other things is on this channel, I said, yeah, I was voting for Harris. I casted my vote, and guess what? I did what I said. I put my money where my mouth is. But the thing that comes to me, okay, now is that doing that, putting my money where my mouth is, it's a lot more harder to do that than not put my money where my mouth is. For example, and this is a good example, doing the right thing, because it's the right thing to do, is more harder than not doing the right thing. Doing the right thing is harder than doing the wrong thing. It's harder. Right. That's one of the things I don't like about spiritual doctrines, when they talk about rewards, or rewards in heaven or in an afterlife, okay? This is what you do to get rewards in heaven and an afterlife. Because when it becomes about the afterlife or rewards, why care for this planet? Or why care for doing the right thing? If you know, okay, if I have to do A, Y, and Z to get these rewards, well, this is what I have to do, okay? Like, one of the big factors, I was talking to a person about this, actually, today a little bit, and they were talking about one of the big factors of why Trump won is because of the notion of low prices, okay? That's why a lot of people voted for him, because of that notion of because of that notion of low prices. They don't want the idea of America being the best they can. They just want to have that simple factor or simple gratification of low prices. There was no, I guess, moral sustenance to it, okay? So on and so forth, right? Like, for example, I saw something the other day which was a very interesting commentary, and it was a commentary about a shopping cart, okay? And this commentary is a very interesting one because majority of people would think the shopping cart, okay, would show a moral sustenance. Actually, it shows, in fact, a lot of the moral sustenance, which is pretty awesome. And what it goes about and what it talks about is when the person is done getting their groceries and stuff, and when the individual just leaves it just in the parking lot, okay, right out next to their car, okay, doesn't matter, it's in the other space, next to them or ahead of them, they just leave it there and they don't put it where the shopping carts are destined to be put. Okay, and it talked about how it was much easier doing that, and that was the wrong thing to do. Okay, but people still do it, even though that is the wrong thing to do, right? People are aware that I'm doing a wrong thing right now, so on and so forth. And I've known people who've done that, and they've made like random excuses. Like, for example, if I did this, you know what? I'm in fact helping the facility out, the grocery store out, because they're going to hire more people for that. No, they're not. Just for your shopping cart, a few others? No, they're not. That'll make it more burdensome for the workers that work at the grocery store. And now the thing went a little bit more, the write-ins about the shopping cart. The thing went a little bit more to this idea now. To this idea now. To this idea about putting the shopping cart in where the shopping carts are supposed to go, okay? And the reason why is because it's the right thing to do. No, I believe if people do things, or the individual person does things, okay, let's say, for example, okay, the idea of rewards in heaven, okay? If someone does, let's say, if someone picks up trash just to get rewards in heaven, is that person morally righteous? No. To be in a way the judge of that aspect, I would say no. The person is not morally righteous because he's not doing it to make the world a better place because it's the right thing to do. He's doing it just to get those rewards in heaven. He's doing it for his own greedy ambition, okay? Alright. Okay. Because why go for rewards in heaven while you could just... The point being is that doing that for rewards in heaven and forgetting about this earth and forgetting about this planet is not the right thing. And what about the person who picks up trash because he wants to make the world a better place? He wants to do the right thing, the individual person. To me being a judge, I would say yes, that person is morally righteous. Okay. Alright. I think, the thing with this dynamic of Trump, with him being a felon, with so many crimes, okay? This man is literally the man of lawlessness, okay? Alright, the man is not really morally, I would say, right, okay? And now, when he talks, I would say when he talks, when he trying to remember my words. Oh, um, yeah, I'm kind of forgetting what I was about to say. Shoot. When he talks about making America great again and how Trump one thing about Harris, okay, I think one of the big reasons why she didn't win this election or why it was in fact really rough for her, guess what? Because she was a woman. And I think not voting Harris in just because of that reason, it's keeping this stigmatized aspect, and it's also not letting humans move out of a nature we as humans haven't lived in. Okay, but doing something new like that can move the human race forward, okay, not backwards, so on and so forth, right? And I think that's like why Trump won, especially among the idea of white voter or white men voters. His majority of group was white men. You know, I saw kind of all the people who were up there when he was speaking, and it's one of the things that just rang to me that, oh my gosh, this man, this man, I don't see one African American up there, or a Hispanic, or an Asian. Okay, I see like all these white people up there, okay? And I'm like, wow, that aspect of the vote with white men, that not really rings true, okay? And I remember one guy too, and I really disagree with this aspect, is that this one guy, UFC something, whatever, something like that. He went up there and he started to thank some people, okay? Like, for example, the idea of the Nelk Boys. I think the Nelk Boys, personally, I think they're really degrading for our society, or for the human race as well. I understand they like doing comedy stuff. I love comedy stuff, but the Nelk Boys, going once again with the idea of moral righteousness, I don't think they're morally righteous, okay? So on and so forth, right? I think also what also probably hurt Harris' campaign was all these celebrities endorsing her, like Eminem, all of these. That just enforced the other side, right, or the Trump supporters to, in fact, not go for her. Like, for example, I saw something the other day, okay, and I think it was actually a post by Cardi B, yeah, or something like that, about where she's walking with her blue dress, and she posted this post on Instagram, "The American Dream," and it's her walking. What the? That I don't I when I saw that, I'm like, that's not making the cause any better, okay? When the person's walking and very braggadocious. I don't like that braggadocious dynamic or anything like that. Um, so one of the other things is, I thought, like for example, like I was thinking about this yesterday, okay, where I was thinking, what would it be like if Harris won, okay? And this movie just came to my mind. I referenced in my last video or one of my last videos on how I'm voting for Harris, and I had 2 Lord of the Rings scenes, and I thought, you know what, I'll go first sci-fi, okay? This was my thought of what it would be like if Harris won. John Williams, when he composed that music, oh my gosh, that was amazing. The music in that, like, it really feels so beautiful. And like their celebration party and like peace is, it came, all right. Like there was so much loveliness and goodness in that, and that's the thing I really loved about that stuff. And now what's coming to my, and that's what I felt like it would be like, kind of if Harris won. Okay, now what's coming to my mind when I think about Trump won, this literally comes to my mind.
And the Jedi rebellion has been foiled.
What's happened?
The Chancellor's been elaborating on a plot by the Jedi to overthrow the Senate.
The remaining Jedi will be hunted down and defeated. The attempt on my life has left me scarred and deformed. But I assure you, my resolve has never been stronger. In order to ensure the security and continuing stability, the Republic will be reorganized into the first galactic empire for a safe and secure society.
Literally, right? Because the thing, it's kind of funny because I see a lot of correlations with that, with when Palpatine talks about the remaining Jedi will be hunted down and destroyed, or whatever, defeated, and everyone's like applauding and cheering. Okay, I just realized a big representation here. Oh my gosh. Just like with Palpatine, Donald Trump's situation. Alright. For one, the Jedi represents the Democrats. Now, when Palpatine continues his speech, my life, I have been scarred and deformed, but my result is never or inevitable, I don't know. And he talks about how his deformity and all of that. And look at here. Trump had an ear piercing. That's right. Trump had a little... But my point being is that he talks about, him almost losing his life, okay? And Palpatine talks about how he basically almost lost his life and all of that stuff. And how it's really I don't want to say not a deformity, but the idea of it's the idea that both were saying that in their speech, like so on and so forth. They'll both really go about that. Okay, then they both talk about security and safety, okay? But the dynamic of security and safety is they both talked about how they'll bring security and safety. Like, for example, the Republic will be reorganized into the first galactic empire to make safe and secure our galaxy. And then everyone just thunders applause, right? That's what I believe really happens when the idea of like that's what really happens, I think, with the idea of the law. I would say it's really the idea when I think individuals become blinded by all the talk, by all the words, right? And I think in many ways kind of goes along the lines as it can be easier sometimes, and I know it can be easier when people are in desperate scenarios. When people are in desperate scenarios, it can be easier to be deceived than not. So on and so forth, right? Right, and it goes back to what I was talking about with the person who picks up trash for the rewards in heaven. What's the reason the person's doing it? We have no clue. But if I had to take some random guess, the person hated their life and they wanted and they were like, this world is miserable, this world is awful, so I'm just going to go for the next. So on and so forth. And it goes back now to the person who's doing things for the right reasons. We have no clue the reasons, okay? He could be in a desperate life. Like, this could be for anyone, really. Like, that I would say is a parable for anyone. But hey, speaking of which, I gotta get going. And, it's a beautiful day. It's November 6th, and it's like summertime. It's like, for me, I hashtag believe in global warming. Well, the thing I know for me with this Trump aspect and all of that, it may be an L for Harris, right? And I know, like, voting for Harris, that doesn't, and if she lost, right, or won, that wouldn't affect my survival. But I do know one thing, that knowing that Trump, it may have been an L for Harris, but as me being an individual voter for Harris, I'm not gonna look at that as an L, but I will make it a win for myself. Okay, as the individual person, I will make it a win. And one of the ways I am looking at it as a win, because I believe Harris was the right option. She, like, the idea of Harris, and so on and so forth. I did the right thing, okay? Because it was the right thing to do. I really believe that Harris would have been better for the country, but dark times have hit. Dark times can make good people. I know I've gone through some rough things in my life, and those things I used to make myself good and better. And that's what I really see. I like, the thing that's also coming to me now is that I think a lot of white men voted for Trump because white men want to be big, powerful, you know what I mean? They want to be like turkeys who fluff their feathers out, get the idea of the mate, so on and so forth, right? For me, I don't really see that as big and powerful, but what I do see is the small things that are extremely big and powerful, or not just the small things, but the everyday stuff. That's really the keystone. So on and so forth. Right? What I think a lot of people definitely missee is that individuals can see conquering this planet. That's big and powerful, okay? So on and so forth. But what I see is helping the planet. That's what's big and powerful. The alpha male energy is going too much below and not too much up here and here. I think it should be the opposite. Alpha male energy thinks it's here, or so on and so forth there. And what I see as an alpha male thing is it's not about there or here. But what it's about is it's about here and here. And yeah. It's a beautiful day. One of the things I really enjoyed just by sitting there and talking, loving this, is seeing all these beaver chewings. Those immense beaver chewings right here. And I love enjoying that and seeing that there's other creatures out there in the world that's enjoying nature. Actually, there's quite a lot over here. Holy shoot. I'm going to look behind this fence post. Look at all those stumps. The beaver buddies are going round to town. Actually, in fact, let me see. I'll walk even up here further and look at this stump here. There's a few further, but this is the biggest stump they've taken down. Remember, see the trees grow in that one there. And man, beaver's like, nope, I'm going for it. I'm going for it. So, yeah. Well, I think this voting or this election, what I'm taking from it, and I didn't think it would enforce what it's enforcing now, but it's enforcing to keep on doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. America may be in some dark times, alright, with Trump being in office. But I know for me as an individual person, I'm not going to make it. I'm going to care more about doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do, because I know that will make the world great. And I think the notion of great, also gotta look at what the notion of great is. Great. I know great to me is this: taking in the air, smelling it. Oh, I love it. It smells like spring. It's making me look forward to spring. But what I believe makes an individual great, or even a nation, is doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. Alright? Doing the right thing, not just for lower prices. Doing the right thing, not just for a wall at the border that I believe will keep. If people have a will, there's a way. But once again, doing the right thing because it's the right thing.